Okay, Nolan, I'm seeing a lot of good things. Two little things that I would recommend. Um, the first thing that I'm going to look at you, the first thing that I'm always going to look at with you is, are we getting our weight off of our back leg before we start to rotate? So as I was watching you going through here, you do a good job of you're getting into hip load here. Here's your negative movement. You're getting into back hip load. Now here's what I think you're doing better. As you are starting to stride, see how your back leg is more in control of your stride? I'm looking at back here. You used to be a guy that sat on that, got a little bit stuck on that back leg and just got a lot of rotational force versus linear force. You're doing a much, much, much better job as I was watching your swings of getting off of your back leg. What I really like too is then as your heel comes down, you're continuing to shift your weight before you rotate. It's getting so much better. Again, as I watch you, back leg's going to be in control of the stride, much more so than I've seen before. And then as your front heel comes down, you continue to shift more weight off before you start to rotate. And there your heel is in the ground. Now what I really like, what I really like, is that our hands are still back, right? As you've gotten your heel all the way into the ground. It's really good. Now to go from good to great, and I know it's not fair, Seager's one of the best hitters in the world, but as you watch, as he's at toe touch, and we watch as his heel goes down, watch his back knee. That was on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. So see where he is, where his heel is in the ground, and look at how he hasn't rotated that back knee yet, and you've just gotten a little bit. So really like the direction you're moving as far as getting your weight off of your back leg into both your stride and into your heel going down. If we could just get rid of that little bit of where your knee starts to come in, where you can see Seager is delaying and getting more linear force before he rotates. Now the big thing that I wanted to show you too, and I picked this film because as you watch, we're just going to watch our hands and our back elbow, okay? And you can even see there at heel strike, let me make sure your heel is your heel's in the ground. Yep, heel's in the ground there. You can see how much more Seager's back elbow has gotten below his hands. He's getting a little bit more back elbow independent action from his hands. Let me back it up here. And you can just watch, again, we're looking at his back elbow relevant to his hands. And you can see how he gets a little bit of a more of a back elbow lead. We're just watching his back elbow. You can really see it work more independent of his hands. And I'll show you, let me go back up here. You can see how you get a little bit more together with your back elbow and your hands. Whereas Seager gets a lot more back elbow first. And the reason I bring this up is I was watching your swings on film here, you just get a little bit around. A little bit around as I was watching your swings. And so this is something that you can dry rep and just feel. This was one of Sean Casey's big things when he was at our building before, of really feeling that back elbow. He worked a lot with Andy Van Slyke as a hitting instructor, and that was one of Van Slyke's big things. And you can just see how Seager's elbow clears before his hands come in, and it allows him to take a little bit more of a direct path to the ball. Watching your back elbow and hands, they come a little bit together. It's not terrible by any means. Again, we're talking about good to great, and it was just causing your swings to come around a little bit. So, good job, back leg more in control of your stride, getting more weight off your back leg as you get to toe strike and to heel strike. Ideally, what we'll see more is, like Seager, our heel's in the ground and our back knee still hasn't really started to come in. And the other thing, and you can just dry rep this, dry rep this, dry rep this, is just feel that back elbow going down more before your hands do. That'll help you go straight to the ball.